And we welcome you to Langhorse Field as we get set for Blue Jay football here on BlueJayTV.com. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Kruger. Delighted to have you with us. We've got a key CCIW battle for you here this afternoon as Elmhurst comes in with an overall record of 4-2, 3-1 in the CCIW. Meanwhile, Carthage 4-1 overall, 2-1 in the CCIW. Carthage in the traveling white jerseys, the Blue Jays in their navy blue jerseys with the sky blue numbers. Carthage won the toss and elected to defer, so the Blue Jays will get the ball first. 64 degrees, kind of an overcast afternoon here in Elmhurst. They do have the lights turned on here at Langhorse Field. Big ball game as far as the conference goes, because the winner of this afternoon's game will have one loss, and the two teams that are undefeated in the CCIW, North Central and Wheaton, are playing tonight at Benedetti Worley Stadium. So when the day is all said and done, if Elmhurst can come away with a victory here this afternoon, they would be tied for second in the CCIW. But first things first, they got to get by a very, very tough Carthage team. Carthage off last week. 2 weeks ago, they defeated Carroll. And meanwhile, Elmhurst with a big win over the Pioneers last week. Lance Unland, the 5'9" sophomore, has the ball teed up at the 35-yard line, and we are about ready to go. Thank you for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Gains from the 10-yard line. He brings it across the 20. He's got room, 30, 40, kicker to beat, and he gets held up right around midfield, spins, and into Carthage territory. What a tremendous return by Gaines. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Blue Jays. Excellent field position here for Orlando Hernandez and this Blue Jay offense, averaging over 24 points per contest. 335 total yards per game on offense, 158 yards rushing, 177 yards passing. And Hernandez out of the gun, throws to the far side, and that pass is complete to Kaylon Miller, a 6'4" junior out of Bolingbrook. And they're going to mark it at the 24-yard line, a first down for Elmhurst. Well, last week on the very first play of the game, Hernandez hit Corey Partenheimer for a 65-yard touchdown. Today, the Blue Jays open up with another successful pass, first down to the 24-yard line of the Redmen. Dan Borgo is the running back for the Blue Jays. Wide outs, Matt Brockman was the motion man, and now we've got a whistle. Should be a false start here against the Blue Jays. 5-yard walk-off. The referee for this afternoon's game, Dave Wallace. Umpire, Mike Renner. The linesman is John Cameron. Line judge, Nate Hendricks. Side judge, Dave Dupree. Field judge is Kevin Copeland. And the back judge is Brian Mason. So the ball back to the 29-yard line now for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays will be off next week. They'll have Illinois Wesleyan on the road 2 weeks from today. So this would be a big game for the Blue Jays. Hernandez, straight drop. Now he steps up and fires, and he's got his man. That's Connor Brewer. And Brewer is tackled at about the 18, and the Blue Jays now in the red zone. And Brewer, he is coming out and may have injured his left arm, and he will get looked at immediately. But now the Blue Jays in the red zone, 17 of 19 in the red zone this season, 13 touchdowns, 4 field goals. So the Blue Jays very successful in the red zone so far this year. First offensive possession. in the red zone. 2nd down and 4. It's Borgo, the ball carrier. And he'll get to the 16, a pickup of 2. The Carthage defense up front, Seth McDormand, Jacob Seimer, Cedric Fry, Pete Laughlin. The linebackers, KJ Simpson, Greg Money, Darquise Holman. And in the secondary, Connor Calvert, Amani Dennis, Jogi Boomba, and Virgil Young. Secondary very young, all sophomores in that secondary for Carthage. 3rd down and 2 now for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. The ball sitting at the 16-yard line, opening drive of this afternoon's CCIW battle. Hernandez is going to roll out here to the near side, throw off his back foot. And the pass complete to Matt Brockman, 6'4" sophomore out of Montini. And it'll be a 1st down for the Blue Jays. Matt, former Montini Bronco, I'm sure he's happy with the news last night. Montini knocking off Mount Carmel in Lombard to get into postseason. 24 straight years now, Montini in the IHSA playoffs. Blue Jays looking to get into the end zone here in the opening drive. 1st and 10 from the 12. Hernandez will keep it himself up the middle, spin to the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal here for the Blue Jays. First and goal here from the 1. As I mentioned, the Blue Jays averaging 158 yards running the football. Hernandez leads the team, 67 yards per game, 5-yard per carry average for the sophomore quarterback. 1st and goal from the 1. Hernandez will hand it off to Brewer, and he did not get in. Good stop by that Carthage defense.
There for the Redmen.
Carthage, a very stingy defense. Coming into today's game, they rank 1st in conference in total defense, limiting opponents to just 275 yards per game. 4th in the league in scoring defense, allowing just over 20 points per game. 2nd goal now for the Blue Jays from the 1. Hernandez goes under center now, and the pitch, and into the end zone, and that's a touchdown for the Blue Jays. Touchdown by number 24, Ben Holloway, the 5'9" sophomore out of Galesburg. And the Blue Jays are on top 6-0. Great start to this ball game for Ron Plans and his Elmhurst College Blue Jays. Coach Plans, the head coach, his 3rd season as the head coach of the Blue Jays. And the extra point is good, so the Blue Jays lead it now by a score of 7-0. 4 minutes and 2 seconds is all it took for the Blue Jays to get into the end zone, and they lead it now 7-0. Elmhurst 2-0 here at Langhorst Field. One more home game after this one, and that will be on October 29th. Oh, check that. October 29th, Elmhurst will be at Illinois Wesleyan, and then it's the following week when they play Milliken. So Blue Jays with the early lead here, 7-0, and now we'll get a look at Carthage's offense. Other action in the CCIW, Illinois Wesleyan is at Carroll today, and Augustana is in Decatur taking on Milliken. So Corey Partenheimer is going to kick it away here for Elmhurst. 10:58 remaining here in the opening quarter. Glad you're logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jays with the lead, 7-0. Back deep for Carthage, James Cobbs, a dangerous return man for the Redmen. He had a 98-yard kickoff return against Carroll. And this one is going to go into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. So 1st and 10. Kyle Freiberg will come out, a 6'1 sophomore out of Caledonia, Michigan. He'll be the quarterback for Carthage. Nick Anselmo, fullback. Lafayette McGarry be the running back. Your wideouts, James Cobbs, we'll talk about him. Eddie Miklish is the wide receiver as well. Jamel Davis will see some time as well. Up front, the two guards, Anthony Kudra, Chris Goldschmidt, and the two tackles, Camden Carter on the right side, Isaiah Trussell on the left side. Set the defense for the Blue Jays here in just a second as Freiberg under center. Going in motion is James Cobbs. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Carthage, and they hand it off. This is Lafayette McGarry, and he will go nowhere. Maybe a loss of a couple on the play.
There for the Blue Jays, along with Hussman.
Defensively up front for the Blue Jays, Miles Carroll, Eddie Byer, and Mike Weaver. Linebackers, Parode Charles, Andy Warson, Alec Detoli, and Brian Tucker. Two corners, Tyler Hassman and Tristan Bolus, and the safeties, Tyler Schwartz and Sean Wetherell. Out of the gun now, Freiberg. Good coverage downfield for the Blue Jays. Now he flies to Cobbs, and it's incomplete. James Cobbs, a 5'11 junior. There is a penalty marker down, however, back at the line of scrimmage. Couple of flags down on the field. So the ineligible receiver for Carthage, that penalty is declined by the Blue Jays, so it's going to be 3rd down. Third and 10 Carthage. The Redmen averaging 34 points per contest. Need to get to the 35-yard line to pick up a 1st down. Freiberg now out of the gun. Freiberg has time. Now he steps up, still looking. Now he crosses the line of scrimmage and decides to run, and he'll get out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It's going to be, we'll check that at the, well, where are they going to spot it? At the 34-yard line. So it's going to be a yard short of the 1st down, and it looks like Carthage is going to bring in its punting unit, we think. Decision time here early on for the head coach of Carthage, Coach Yeager. Going to go for it here. 4th and a yard for Carthage. Freiberg under center, out of the eye. Freiberg is going to hand it off, straight up the middle running, and boy, that is going to be awful close. Parode Charles came up to make the tackle, and it doesn't look like the Redmen got there. Wow. Great defensive stance by the Blue Jays. Well, Elmhurst defense struggled at times last week against Carroll, but they are one of the top-ranked squads in the CCIW, and you can see why. Ranked 3rd in the league in total defense, allowing just 18.5 points per game over the first 6 weeks. So now it's Hernandez back to work. Three wide receivers to the top of your monitor there for the Blue Jays, up 7-0. Carthage moved, got back defensively though. 1st and 10, Blue Jays from the 34 of Carthage. Play clock down to 4. Trying to set up a screen to the far side to Austin McKellar, but that pass is incomplete, and it'll simply be 2nd down and 10 for the Blue Jays. Orlando Hernandez, 2 times this year. He has been the CCIW Offensive Player of the Week. Sophomore quarterback from Peoria, Illinois. Works out of the gun. Holloway to his left. Gonna fake the Holloway. He's gonna throw deep, and Corey Partenheimer. That pass is incomplete. Connor Calvert. Pretty good coverage on that play. Bring up 3rd down and 10. Connor Calvert was stride for stride with Corey Partenheimer. Corey, as I mentioned, had that 65-yard touchdown catch. First play from scrimmage last week. Elmhurst riding a modest 2-game winning streak, knocked off Augustana and Carroll. Lost to Wheaton before that. And now running the ball here is number 22, Daniel Borgo. And Borgo is going to have a first down here for the Blue Jays. Really nice run by Dan, the senior out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. Ball is spotted at the 17-yard line. So for the second time today, Blue Jays are in the red zone. Up to date, they're 18 of 20 in the red zone on the season. Hernandez directing traffic. He wants a motion man, and now he gets it. Wants some blocking. He's going to run and keep it himself, and he'll get tackled from behind. Boy, nice play. Darquise Holman, 5'10 junior out of Peoria. The linebacker came from behind to tackle Hernandez. Showed a lot of speed, Holman did on that play. They spotted at the 17-yard line. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Again, both teams with just 1 conference loss coming into this afternoon. Partenheimer split out to the top of your monitor. To the bottom, it's Kalon Miller. Brewer, the slot man, now he goes in motion. Hernandez is going to hand this one off. Holloway,
The ball carrier.
minimal gain up the middle. He'll get to the 13, pick up a 4.
Holman there for the Redmen.
So now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. From the 13-yard line, Austin McKellar comes in with the play. Blue Jays leading 7-0. Second offensive drive of the afternoon. 3rd and 6 for Hernandez. Again, working out of the gun. And the screen, they dump it underneath. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and finally gets down now to the 5-yard line.
Bethke for the Blue Jays.
Brock Bethke, a 5'11 freshman, with the reception and a nice run after the catch. You see the tail end of it there. Good power shown there by Brock Bethke. Picks up the first down, and it's 1st and goal now from the 6. Not much wind to speak of here. Again, an overcast afternoon here in Elmhurst. They have the lights turned on here at Langhorst Field. 64 degrees game time temperature. Hernandez now out of the gun, 1st and goal. Going to hand it off. Once again, this is Bethke. He had the reception last time. They hand him the football this time. Off of left tackle, and it'll get to the 4. 2-yard pickup on that carry. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Carthage. Gain of 2.
Rapidly played first quarter here. 6:36 remaining. 2nd and goal now from the 4 for the Blue Jays. Hernandez working the play clock down to 3, gets it off, and the slant pattern into the end zone is incomplete. Pass intended for Austin McKellar, 5'10" sophomore out of Belmont, Michigan. Brings up a 4th down situation now, and it looks like the Blue Jays are going to go for the 3. I'll check that 3rd and goal. I thought it was 4th. So another opportunity here for Elmhurst. 3rd and goal from the 4. Split out to the top, Corey Partenheimer. To the bottom is Kalon Miller. Motion man is Brewer. Hernandez with a pump fake. He's going to run, and he's going to get in. Touchdown. Orlando Hernandez with the touchdown, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season, 8th overall, and it's 13-0 Elmhurst. Good blocking up front there on that right side. He had a huge hole to go through, and the 2nd touchdown of the afternoon for Elmhurst. Now Tom Finucane coming in for the extra point, or actually Finucane with the hold. Blake Bailey's extra point is good. Finucane on the hold, and it's good to make it 14-0 in favor of Elmhurst.
6:13 left in the first quarter. Elmhurst 14.
So a good start to this one for the Blue Jays. This, by the way, the 65th meeting between Carthage and Elmhurst. The series started back in 1936, and that game actually ended in a tie. It was 7-7 was the final back in 1936. The Blue Jays had a 4-game winning streak snapped last season when Carthage won 31-17, but Elmhurst has won 7 of the last 11 meetings, and they're off to a good start here this afternoon. 14-0 Blue Jays. Corey Partenheimer will get ready to kick it off for Elmhurst. James Cobbs is back deep, 5'11" junior out of Urbana, Illinois. Partenheimer kicked it into the end zone for a touchback the last time. We'll see if he does the same thing here. Bit of a breeze, bit of a wind to his back as you see the football go off the tee.
Partenheimer to kick it away for Elmhurst. Cobbs and McGarry.
Now the back judge, Brian Mason, comes in. And once again, Partenheimer has it teed up. 6:13 left to play here in this opening quarter. CCIW battle here between Carthage and Elmhurst. Oh, Partenheimer gets off a really nice kick. Cobbs from his own 3 has a blocker in front, across the 20, 25, 30, and a nice return to the 31-yard line. So Kyle Freiberg, who started the game, we're told that Ethan Olis will get some time, number 15 at quarterback, as you see the tail end of that return by Cobbs.
Carthage will start 1st and 10 at their 31.
We'll see who comes out at quarterback here for the Redmen. I think it's going to continue to be Kyle Freiberg in at quarterback, number 5. He works out of the pistol here. 1st and 10, Redmen from their own 31-yard line. Cobbs is the motion man, and he'll get the handoff. Spins around at the 30, 35, cuts back around the 40-yard line and gets tackled at the 45. A pickup of 15 and a 1st down for the Redmen, spotted at the 46-yard line. So we see the speed there of James Cobbs. Sweep here to the near side. He had 32 catches for 485 yards and 4 touchdowns last year. 19 catches, 318 yards and 4 touchdowns this year. And of course, he likes to run the football as well. So multi-talented player. Here's Lafayette McGarry's. He spins off of a tackle and gets tackled at the 49-yard line. Sean Wetherell with the tackle. Sean, a 6'1 senior out of Rock Island, Illinois. Big game in week 1 against Loris. He had 15 tackles, an 80-yard pick six, and a fumble recovery as well. Huge fourth quarter for Elmhurst in that game against Loris. The Blue Jays won that one 28-27. McGarry spins out of a tackle, but he's in all kinds of trouble and now gets buried back at the 42. Wetherell once again was there. So a big defensive stop for the Blue Jays. The ball is all the way back down to the 42-yard line. Take another look at it there. McGarry spun out of it and he was going backwards, and there you see Wetherell coming in and making the tackle. Boy, it's going to be third down now and 18. Carthage needs to get to the 43 of Elmhurst. See if the Blue Jays bring the linebackers in. Nope, they just rushed 3. Freiberg has time, steps, and that pass is complete to number 21, London Townsend. London Townsend, a 5'10 senior out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, makes the catch and gives Carthage a first down. Really nice ball there thrown by Freiberg. And you see the tail end and the nice catch by Townsend. All the way down to the 26 of Elmhurst. First and 10, Carthage, just over 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Freiberg out of the gun, looking to his left, and he's got his man. That's number 82, Eddie Miklish, 5'11 sophomore, local guy of Arlington Heights. And he will have a first down as he brings it shoved out of bounds at the 13.
Another first down for Carthage.
So a nice drive here for the Redmen, trailing 14-0 to the Blue Jays. Ball spotted on the left hash mark, first and 10 from the 13. Freiberg again out of the gun, handing it off to McGarry. McGarry will get ankle tackled nicely there by Mike Weaver, 6'3 senior out of California. However, there is a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. Usually a spot where it's a hold. Get the call from Dave Wallace here. Oh, a personal foul against Elmhurst. Oh, that'll be half the distance. They're going to mark it now just outside the 5 at the 6. Costly penalty defensively for the Blue Jays as it's going to be first and goal now for Carthage from the 6. Carthage trailing 14-0. Just over 3:20 remaining here in the opening quarter. And a new quarterback in there as Cobbs goes in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. That's Nick Anselmo, actually. Usually a fullback. So kind of a wildcat situation. Nick Anselmo, 6'1 senior out of Schaumburg, takes the direct snap, and it's second down. And back comes Kyle Freiberg. So Carthage trying to do something a little bit differently to mess up the Blue Jay defense, but they were there. Did get down to the 2. Second goal from the 2. Freiberg back under center. Javier Rhodes is the tight end on the right side. Second and goal from the 2. Davis, the ball carrier. Jamel Davis is in. 2-yard touchdown run by Jamel Davis, a 6'2 freshman out of Naples, Florida, gives Carthage the touchdown. Big play on this drive, though, that third down pass completion to London Townsend. And that set up ultimately the 2-yard touchdown run by Jamel Davis.
To attempt the extra point.
And the extra point is good to make it 14-7 now. Blue Jays with the lead. 2:27 to go here in this opening quarter.
Carthage 7.
Good ball game going here. Two teams with just one conference loss here on the season. Talked about Ron Plans, his third season as the head coach of the Blue Jays. Came to Elmhurst here in 2014 after spending 5 seasons as the defensive line coach and special teams coordinator at Minnesota State University. Also served as an assistant at Manchester College and the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire. Kind of a homecoming for him as he attended Carthage College, playing for the Redmen. His first year with the Blue Jays, 5-5. Last year, 4-6. .227 left to play here in this opening quarter. Lance Unlin, number 93, will kick it away here, sophomore out of Plainfield, Indiana.
Unlin to kick it away for Carthage.
Unlin gets it off.
Gaines from the 10.
From the 10-yard line is Gaines. Gaines has a hold, 30. Another nice return. There is a flag down. Gaines is going to go all the way to the end zone for a touchdown, but there is a penalty marker down. Jawan Gaines, a freshman out of Villa Park, but we'll see what the flag is all about. Usually it is against the kicking team. Side judge threw the flag. Well, it is holding against the Blue Jays. So that will negate the fine return, touchdown return by Jawan Gaines. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Spot of the foul was the 30. So the 10-yard penalty, they bring it back to the 20. So 1st and 10 Blue Jays from their own 20-yard line. Hernandez back to work out of the gun. 14-7, Brockman is the motion man. Going to hand it off to Connor Brewer. And Brewer maybe a yard. Darquise Holman was there on the tackle. 2nd and 9 now for the Blue Jays. Under 2 minutes to go now in the opening quarter.
1-yard gain on the play.
Thank you for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jay football. Got a good one here between two good teams, Carthage and Elmhurst. Again, the winner of this game, when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, will be tied for 2nd in the CCIW. Two undefeated teams in conference battling it out tonight for the Little Brass Bell in Naperville. North Central and Wheaton, and the play clock winding down. Hernandez decides to call the timeout. So they'll have 2 left here. 1:25 remaining here in this opening quarter. Boy, we mentioned last week Elmhurst knocking off Carroll. Set a school record for total yards in a game. Can you believe this? 607 total yards of offense last week against the Carroll Pioneers.
CCIW score, beginning of the second quarter, Illinois Wesleyan University 13, Carroll 3.
Wesleyan leading Carroll 13-3. That ball game being played at Carroll. Second down and 9 now for Hernandez after that timeout. Hernandez, and he's going to get sacked. Back at the 19. Cedric Fry, it looked like, big number 99, 6'1", 300-pound sophomore out of Urbana, Illinois, gets the sack, big number 99. Loss of 6. So it's going to bring up third down and 15 here for Elmhurst from their own 15-yard line. Again, Hernandez out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the top. Hernandez under pressure again, and he's going to get sacked again for the second time. This time it's Pete Loughlin, number 98. Loughlin, a 6'2 junior out of Oswego, Illinois. Brings up fourth down, and Elmhurst's going to have to punt it away here. So 2 big sacks for Carthage, and Elmhurst is going to punt. Corey Partenheimer is going to punt from his own end zone. Boy, he's at the very, very edge. Carthage is going to get excellent field position here. Tommy Bazarek is back deep, and that's the end of the first quarter. So Elmhurst with the lead at the end of one, 14-7. They'll go to the other end of the field, and Corey Partenheimer is going to have a tough task ahead of him. He's going to be punting, and the heels of his feet, he's going to line up at the very, very back of the end zone. Again, hardly no wind to speak of, so let's hope Corey can get off a good punt. He's averaging just about 37 yards per punt. Tommy Bazarek standing at about the 42-yard line. As the officials are getting into their positions here, and now we're ready to go. Partenheimer, good snap, and he gets off a good one. Gets off a real good one. Bazarek from the 49 brings it ahead. Ooh, and hits hard at the 40-yard line, and that's going to create a flag. Boy, I'm not sure if he led with the helmet. Austin McKellar with the hit. See if we can take another look at it here. Looked like a pretty good play there. It looked like he led with his shoulder. All right, a block in the back against Carthage. See if we can see it here. Right-hand part. Oh, okay, there it was. So ball is at the 50-yard line now for Carthage, trailing by 7 here in the early going of the second quarter. It's Kyle Freiberg still at quarterback for Carthage. And he is going to work out of the pistol here. 1st and 10, Redmen from midfield. Cobbs is the motion man, and they're going to hand it off here. This is number 21, London Townsend, had that big reception in the first quarter, the big third down play. Townsend is going to pick up 5 down to the 45. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Charles with the tackle for Elmhurst.
Perode Charles was there to make the tackle, his 38th tackle of the season, the 5'10 senior out of Loma Linda, California. Bring up 2nd and 5 now for Freiberg and the Redmen. Again, Cobbs is the motion man. Freiberg is going to throw. Fake the screen to Cobbs. Now he's going to run, tuck it under. He'll have the first down, and he gets out of bounds at the 35. So a good decision that time by Freiberg. 10-yard run, and it's a first down. 1st and 10 at the 35. Nobody open downfield. I thought he was going to screen it out in the flat here to James Cobbs, but he faked it to him and then saw that the left side of the field was open, and so he ran for a first down to the 35. 1st and 10, Freiberg. Going to hand it off down to the 30, another gain of 5 by Townsend. So the offensive line here of Carthage is starting to gain control here a little bit. 2nd and 5 from the 30.
Gain of 5 on the play.
Freiberg again working out of the gun. Townsend right behind him. Receiver in motion. They fake it to Townsend. Freiberg is going to roll out here. Now throw, and that one is underthrown. Pass intended for Javier Rhodes, the tight end. 6'2" senior out of Chicago. It was behind Rhodes, and so now it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. Carthage, wind to their back. Right now, you'd be looking at about a 50-yard field goal, so they need some more yards here. 3rd down and 5, and to the far side, that one is incomplete. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 5. Jamal Wright, 5'10" senior out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. Number 17 was the intended receiver. And Carthage going to go for it here. 4th down and 5 from the 30. Freiberg looks over for the play. Plenty of time left on the play clock. Now at 8. Freiberg steps up, throws, and he's got his man, and that is going to be a first down. That's Jamel Wright to the 21-yard line. Pickup of 9. So another big 3rd down completion. Boy, pretty impressed with Kyle Freiberg. He's had some huge 3rd down conversions. 1st and 10 now for Carthage from the 21 of the Blue Jays. Freiberg is going to keep trying to get to the outside. Not going to get there. He's actually going to lose maybe a yard on that play. Tyler Hassman, number 9. Good defensive pursuit there. Knock him out. Actually a loss of 2. Back to the 23. 2nd down and 12 for Carthage. Just under 12 minutes to go here in the first half. And the officials, Carthage is calling a timeout. So the Redmen calling a timeout here with 11:54 remaining. Again, Carthage did not play last week. They were idle. But 2 weeks ago, they knocked off Carroll 38-14. And last week, Elmhurst defeated Carroll. Next week, the Blue Jays will be idle. 2 weeks from today, they'll be in Bloomington to take on Illinois Wesleyan. So just a huge game today for Elmhurst. Chance for guys to get healthy, being off next week. Again, both teams with 1 conference loss. Elmhurst 3-1 in the CCIW. Carthage 2-1. 2nd and 12 now for Carthage after the timeout. Blue Jays lead it here 14-7. Townsend just to the right of Freiberg. They fake the handoff to him. Now they're going to screen it to Townsend. Wide open, 20-15-10. Inside the 5, looking for some blocking, and he's in. Wow, London Townsend goes 23 yards on the screen from Kyle Freiberg. Good effort that time by Townsend after the catch. You see him picking up a block right there, and then the last couple of yards, he steps it in for the touchdown.
Unland on to attempt the extra point.
Lance Unland in for the extra point now, number 93, to tie this game up.
Kick is in the air.
And that one is good to make it 14-14. 11:44 remaining here in this first half. So now it's time for Elmhurst to go back to work. You know, Carthage has done a nice job. They have allowed the fewest sacks of any team in the CCIW through the first 5 games. The Redmen's quarterbacks have been sacked just 5 times this season. So that offensive line, boy, Anthony Kudra, 6'2", 290. You got a couple of 300-pounders in Goldschmidt and Trussell. Camden Cotter is 6'3", 285. You can see why that offensive line is solid.
Gaines going back deep for the Blue Jays.
2 teams love to run the clock. Elmhurst ranks 1st in the CCIW and 17th in the nation in time possession. They hold the ball over 34 minutes. Meanwhile, Carthage, 2nd in the league, they average just over 33 minutes per contest. So ball control and taking care of the football, keys to both teams.
Unland ready to kick it away for Carthage.
Unland to kick it off here. Big number 93 for the Redmen. Gaines from the 8. Gaines gets across the 20, and this time he is tackled there by number 1. That's Darren Funchess. So now it's Orlando Hernandez. And the Blue Jay offense back to work.
Elmhurst 1st and 10 at their 23-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 23. 1st and 10 Blue Jays from their own 23. Hernandez holds up number 1. And that's going to be a quarterback keeper as he gets across the 25 to the 27-yard line. And a late flag coming in. Greg Money, the senior inside linebacker, made the tackle. A couple of late flags, though, on this play. 3 flags out there, actually. Officials congregating at the 32-yard line. Well, let's see what Dave Wallace has to say here. Still some confusion. All right, they're spotting it now at the 27. That's where they'll mark it off. Looks like it's against Elmhurst here. Personal foul on the offense, so half the distance back to the goal. Boy, that's the 2nd personal foul here this afternoon against the Blue Jays. They're going to bring it back all the way to the 13. Personal foul penalty against the Blue Jays brings it all the way back to the 13. It's going to be 2nd and about 20. Hernandez out of the gun, has time. Deep here to the near side, and it was tipped, but it's going to be caught by Kaylon Miller off the deflection. Wow. Great concentration by Kalon Miller, the junior out of Bolingbrook. 22nd reception of the season. You see the deflection, and Kalon Miller with a huge play. Great catch off the deflection, and it's going to be a Blue Jay first down. Miller on a downward result. Oh, but there was a penalty flag down. Boy, again, the officials talking about it. Maybe a sideline warning. It looks like they're going to keep the ball where he was tackled at the 26. Yeah, it is a sideline warning against the Blue Jays. So the play stays. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 26. A great catch by Kalon Miller.
Blue Jays are 1st and 10 at the Carthage 26.
One of 4 different receivers for the Blue Jays with 10 or more catches on the season. So Hernandez will see you if you're open. 1st and 10 Blue Jays from the 26. Miller down to the bottom of your monitor. 3 wide outs to the top. Hernandez, one-on-one coverage. They're going to Miller again. And that one is going to be incomplete. Connor Calvert with the coverage one-on-one. Miller thought he got hit a little bit. No flag. Bring up 2nd and 10. Hernandez saw the one-on-one coverage. Into the game now, Corey Partenheimer. 2nd down and 10 for Hernandez and the Blue Jays from the 26. Good ball game here this afternoon. Tied at 14. Glad you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Brockman, the motion man. They're going to hand it off to Brewer. And Brewer goes nowhere. Spun down back at the 29. Cameron Stubblefield was there for Carthage, only a freshman. 6'2" freshman from Naples, Florida. Cameron Stubblefield with a big, big sack back to the 28. It's going to be 3rd down and 12. Coming up on the 10-minute mark of this first half. 2 wide outs to the top. Miller a split to the bottom. Hernandez steps up, throws across the middle. Oh, there's contact there. That's going to be defensive pass interference. Austin McKellar got hit in the back before that ball arrived, so it's going to be 1st and goal for Elmhurst. 3rd trip into the red zone for Elmhurst. This is going to be, well, there's the call, defensive pass interference against the Redmen. Bring up a 1st down here for the Blue Jays. At the 14, just under 10 minutes to go now here in this first half. Mark Kruger, delighted to bring you all the action here on BlueJayTV.com. Hernandez is going to keep it. Maybe a yard.
Hernandez, the ball carrier.
Maybe a half a yard. So it's going to bring up second and long. 2nd and 9. They did give him a 1-yard gain on that play for Hernandez. Orlando, 81 carries coming into this game, so he's a huge part of this offense, both passing and running the football. 2nd down and 9. Hernandez is going to hand off this time to Brewer, and he's going to dive close to the 10-yard line. A pickup of 3. It's going to be 3rd down and call it 6. Elmhurst jumped out to a 14-0 lead, but Carthage coming right back with 2 scores of their own to tie the game up at 14. 8:43 remaining here in this first half. Miller going in motion. Hernandez throwing to the end zone. He's got Miller. Touchdown. Kaylon Miller, 10 yards out. Second receiving touchdown of the season for Kaylon Miller, the 6'1 junior. And the Blue Jays recapture the lead. Saw the replay there. Jubilant Miller after that touchdown catch. Now Bailey in for the extra point attempt for Elmhurst, and it is good. So it's 21-14 now for Elmhurst with the lead. Now there's a flag. After the kick. Now this could be a running into the kicker deal here. It was well after the ball crossed the crossbar is when the flag came out. So if it's against Carthage, Elmhurst is going to be kicking in very good field position. Yeah, necessary roughness against Carthage. 8:28 remaining here in this first half. Nice job by Orlando Hernandez to orchestrate this beautiful drive. Couple nice passes to Kaylon Miller. Of course, that one off the deflection was the big play in that drive, but the 10-yard reception from Hernandez to Miller, and it's a 7-point Blue Jay lead here now. So because of that personal foul penalty, Partenheimer is going to kick off from midfield. And of course, you may be thinking, perhaps, why not try an onside kick here? But we'll see what the Blue Jays decide to do here. Partenheimer obviously could easily kick it into the end zone and be a touchback. James Cobbs is the man deep for Carthage, number 2.
Partenheimer to kick it away for the Blue Jays from midfield.
Partenheimer now see what he decides to do, and they are going to try an onside kick. It did go 10 yards. And who's got it? Blue Jays say they have it. Scrum at the 35-yard line, and the Blue Jays say they have recovered. No word yet from the officials yet. And there it is. It is Blue Jay football. Boy, Partenheimer did an outstanding job on this onside kick. It has to go 10 yards, and there you see it crosses the 40, and it's anybody's ball right there. And the Blue Jays come away with it. Great special teams work. So now a great opportunity now for the Blue Jays to add to their 7-point lead. It was the kicker Partenheimer that came up with it. How about that? Wow, Corey, great job. 1st and 10, Blue Jays from Carthage 35. 2 wideouts to either side here now for Hernandez, who works out of the gun. 8:24 remaining here in the half. Straight drop. Now he gets flushed out here to the near side. Has blocking ahead of him. Instead, he decides to throw, and Matt Brockman dropped it right into the breadbasket, but it was incomplete. Matt, I'm sure, wanted to have that one back. Take another look at it there. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Boy, Hernandez had all the time in the world. He had blocking ahead. Could have ran with the football, but instead decided to throw it to Brockman, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now for the Blue Jays. Brockman, the motion man, setting up the screen here now to number 83, Jawan Gaines. But he's going to be hit hard at the 32. Pickup of 3 on that reception. Down to the 32. So 3rd down and 7 now. Blue Jays need to get to the 25. Third down and 7. Gaines and Miller to the top of your monitor. Hernandez out of the gun. 3rd down and 7. Play action. He's going to roll out. Now he's going to tuck it under and throw. And that one is incomplete, intended for Gaines. Boy, good coverage downfield by Carthage. No one was open, and a wise decision by Hernandez just to throw it away. Did a great job of avoiding getting sacked. 4th and 7 from the 32. Be about a 49-yard field goal against the wind. So it looks like the Blue Jays going to go for it here. 4th and 7 for Hernandez. Can they keep this drive alive? Hernandez steps up and now is going to get sacked. Big number 91, Chase Blotkamp, 6-foot sophomore out of Huntertown, Indiana, as that pocket collapsed. And the sack, and so on downs, the ball goes back over to Carthage. So Elmhurst does not capitalize on the onside kick. Carthage 1st and 10 now. They take over the Redmen from their own 38. 7:18 remaining here in the first half. Blue Jays by 7. Well, Ethan Ollis is going to come into the game now. Kyle Freiberg started the ball game. We were told that Ethan Ollis would see some time, and he works out of the offset eye here. 1st and 10 from the 38. Going to hand the ball off to Townsend. And Townsend close to the 41 on forward progress. They'll pick up, call it a 4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6. Ethan Ollis started 4 games last year for the Redmen. He's a 6'2 senior out of Palatine. Got a younger brother, Zach Ollis, who was the starting quarterback for the Palatine Pirates. Palatine having a really good year this year. 2nd down and 6, that 4-yard pickup by Townsend. Ollis comes back now and working out of the pistol here. Play action, they fake it to Townsend. Ollis is going to throw, pass complete up the middle. That's Eddie Miklish, the 5'11 sophomore, is going to have a 1st down at the Elmhurst 41. So good poise and a nice pass by Ethan Ollis. Stepped nicely up into the pocket and hit Miklish for the 1st down. Driven back there by Tyler Schwartz. 1st and 10, though, Redmen from the Blue Jay 41. Again, Ollis out of the pistol formation here. They're going to hand it off. Townsend off left tackle, and he'll get maybe a yard. Brian Tucker, number 51, 5'10 senior, making the tackle. Brian with 32 tackles and 1 interception coming into this game. 3-yard pickup down to the 38. 2nd down, 7 now for the Redmen. 5:45 to go here in the first half. Carthage with 2 timeouts remaining. Ollis hands it off to Townsend, cuts back, gets tackled immediately at the 35. Herod Charles, the senior linebacker, was there to make the tackle. They're going to spot it at the 34. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down here now as they got Nick Anzalmo into the game, number 14. We saw him a couple of snaps earlier in the game. So the 3rd quarterback, a bit of a wildcat here. Nick Anselmo. Out of the gun, and he's going to lose it. Ball is loose. Oh, but I believe Anselmo picked it up back at the 44. Oh, man. High snap, and that's going to bring up 4th down now, and the punting unit coming in for Carthage. Nick Condry, the punter, 6'2 freshman out of St. Charles, will do the punting chores. Gaines is back, but he's not deep. He's at the 34-yard line. First punt by Nick Condry, and this is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. Exactly 4 minutes remaining here in this first half. Boy, it'd be nice if the Blue Jays could march down here and pick up another score. They lead by 7, 21-14 over Carthage here. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Out comes Hernandez and the Blue Jay offense. Going to spot it here at the 20-yard line on the near hash mark. And that's where Orlando Hernandez and the offense will go to work. Hernandez, quick hit. Ooh, incomplete. Kaylon Miller bobbled it. The ball was in the air for a while. KJ Simpson, number 4, almost had the pick, and there was no one in front of him. Here's another look at it here. You see the diving effort there by Simpson. Just brings up 2nd down and 10. Gaines comes in with the play, number 83 for the Blue Jays. 2nd down and 10. Play clock down to 9. Blue Jays get set. 4 on the play clock. And with 1 second left, they just do get it off. Underneath the Brockman. Brockman has some room after the catch as he dives just shy of the 30-yard line, but it's going to be a first down.
First down for the Blue Jays.
It's right at the 30-yard line. You see the great effort there at the end by Brockman. Simpson making the tackle for Carthage. 1st and 10 Blue Jays. Elmhurst with 2 timeouts left. 3:36 remaining here in this first half. Again, a bit of an overcast afternoon. Haven't had any rain yet during the ball game. Hopefully we will stay dry throughout this game. 1st and 10 Elmhurst. Brewer goes in motion. Hernandez with a bit of a fake, and he's going to keep it, and he's going to get wrapped up back at the 25 by KJ Simpson, the 6'1 senior out of Blue Island, Illinois. Take another look at it here. Boy, Hernandez didn't have any time whatsoever. He did that little pump fake there, and Simpson with the wrestle move, wrestled him down. They're going to spot it at the 26. 2nd down 14 as the Blue Jays have to get to the 40-yard line to pick up the first. 2:43 remaining, clock continuing to wind down here. Hernandez, he's got his man Miller, and Miller fighting for yardage after the catch, still on his feet. Look at him go, and he's across the 40, and he's going to have a first down. Dragging about 4 Carthage defenders with him. Wow. Miller caught the ball at about the 35, and the next 5 yards was all Miller. 1st and 10 Blue Jays. Whoa, what a great individual effort by Miller. 1st and 10 from the 41. 2:15 remaining. Again, Elmhurst still has 2 timeouts left. Pistol formation here. Brockman, the motion man. Hernandez is going to go, and he's got his man. That's number 17. That's Justin Ward. 6'2 junior out of Hinsdale South High School, shoved out of bounds at the 37 of Carthage. Exactly 2 minutes remaining. Take another look. Justin Ward, 6'2 junior. Burr Ridge is his hometown. 1st and 10, Blue Jays from the 37. Boy, Hernandez doing a great job of orchestrating this drive here. Gains to the very top of your monitor. Asking for Brewer to go in motion. Hernandez fakes, and now the pocket collapses and he goes down. The sack by number 49, Seth McDormand. 6'1" senior out of Bourbonnais, Illinois, with the sack. Brings the ball back to the 41. Clock continuing to move here. 1:22 to go in the half. Hernandez steps up, has a lot of room. 35, 30, 25, and tackled at the 23. It's going to be a first down for Elmhurst, and they stop the clock momentarily while they move the chains. 1:11 to go. Timeout taken by the Blue Jays. It's their second timeout of the half. Great job by Orlando Hernandez, who just kind of had to manufacture things after the pocket collapsed, but he stepped up, had a lot of room, and you saw his running ability, sideswiped a couple of defenders, and picked up a first down all the way down to the 23-yard line. Hernandez, as we mentioned, he took home CCIW Offensive Player of the Week honors for the second time. Last week when his Blue Jays defeated Carroll. He was a leading rusher, carried 13 times for 127 yards against Carroll, had a rushing touchdown as well, and he also threw for 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was 16 of 24 against the Pioneers and did not throw an interception. Pretty impressive numbers against Carroll last week. He's got a 1st and 10 situation here from the 23-yard line. Orlando going deep across the middle, wide open is Brockman, touchdown. Matt Brockman, 23 yards. Hernandez, perfectly thrown ball. And for Matt, his 4th touchdown of the season. Take another look at it here. There is a penalty marker down as Brockman hauled it in for the score. But a 5-yard walk-off against Elmhurst is going to negate the touchdown. Wow. Well, remember, Gaines had that kickoff return for a touchdown brought back with a penalty. And now this touchdown also brought back because of a penalty. So a ball is spotted back at the 28. Boy, that's tough. 1st and 15 for the Blue Jays. They need to get to the 13-yard line to pick up a first. 65 seconds left in the half. McKellar goes in motion. Hernandez rolls out, steps up, throws, and he's got his man, that's Partenheimer, and he steps out of bounds wisely to stop the clock with just under a minute remaining here in this first half. Going to spot it at the 24-yard line, so 2nd and 11 now. Boy, Hernandez really in a nice rhythm offensively. Moving the ball around, hitting different receivers. See if he goes to the end zone here on 2nd and 11. From the 24. Partenheimer is to the bottom of your monitor. Single coverage down below and a timeout. Hernandez didn't like what he saw, and Elmhurst calling a timeout. It's its final timeout of the half. 59 seconds remaining in the half. Well, we mentioned last year, Carthage snapped Elmhurst's 4-game winning streak. It was 31-17 the final last year. Lance Unland with a 43-yard field goal and a 64-yard run from Lafayette McGarry sealed the win for the Redmen. So Elmhurst looking for a bit of revenge. Head coach Ron Plans went to Carthage, so you know he would like nothing more than to get a victory against his alma mater. After the timeout here, 2nd and 11 for Hernandez from the 24-yard line. Again, no timeouts left now for the Blue Jays. Hernandez going deep to McKellar, and that's well overthrown. Jogi Boomba, the sophomore safety, was there on the coverage. It's going to bring up 3rd down now and 11 for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Be looking at about a 41-yard field goal attempt. Gaines comes in, number 83, replacing Partenheimer. So we'll see if the Blue Jays can get some more yardage here. The ball is spotted at the far hash mark at the 24-yard line. Hernandez working out of the empty backfield. Going to roll out here. Plant, throw into the end zone. McKellar, and it was intended for McKellar, knocked away at the very last second there. Amani Dennis, 5'11" sophomore from Wheeling, Illinois, was there to knock it down. And so now it's 4th and 11. Good defensive play. Boy, if that ball was thrown about a foot higher, I think Austin has a touchdown. 4th and 11 from the 24. Justin Ward, number 17, is into the game. He's one of the 3 wide receivers to the bottom. Blue Jays going to go for it here. 47 seconds left. 4th and 11. Hernandez under pressure. Throws and incomplete. Kalon Miller was the closest target as the Redmen really brought the heat to Hernandez, and Carthage takes over on downs. Nice defensive stop by the Redmen. And now we got a flag? Well, we're waiting to get a call from the officials. Dave Wallace, the referee. Didn't see a flag down. Maybe it was off up to the side. Oh, there it was by the 10-yard line. Well, the penalty is going to go against Elmhurst, and the ball is going to be ultimately spotted at the 39. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Blue Jays. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Carthage from the Redmen 39-yard line with 41 seconds left. Ethan Olis is at quarterback. Townsend right behind him. Play action. Olis coming over here to the near side, and the pass to Eddie Miklish is complete. He brought it in at the 47. 8-yard pickup, 2nd down and 2, but the clock continuing to move here. Carthage does have 2 timeouts left, 25 seconds to go. Olis to Townsend, and he gets out of bounds across midfield to the 49 of Elmhurst. Does 2 things. It picks up the 1st down, and more importantly, stops the clock. They spot it right at midfield, so 1st and 10, Carthage with 20 seconds left. Olis out of the shotgun. Looking, throwing, and incomplete. Miklish was the intended receiver. Tyler Hossman was there on the coverage. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 with 16 seconds left in the half. Back out of the pistol here now for Olis and Carthage. 2nd down and 10 from midfield. They're going to hand it off. The draw to Townsend. He'll pick up 6 down to the 44. Carthage will call a timeout. They'll have 1 left. Ball is spotted at the 44 of Elmhurst.
Timeout taken by Carthage. Please put 11 seconds on the game clock. 11 seconds.
Well, they're going to put 11 seconds back on the clock here, the game clock.
Nope, you got too many zeros. 1-1. 1-1. 0. There you go.
Mike Yeager, talked about him, his 4th season as the head coach of Carthage. Started as the interim head coach for the final 3 games of the 2012 season. And before that, he served as Carthage's defensive coordinator in both 2011 and 2012. Became the full-time head coach in 2012. All right, Carthage, 1 timeout left, 11 seconds left in the half. Again, out of the pistol here for Ethan Olis. Townsend, number 21, is the deep back. He comes up to block. Olis is going to fire, intended for James Cobbs. And did he come up with it? Yes, he did. 44-yard touchdown pass from Ethan Olis to James Cobbs. His 5th touchdown catch of the season. Talked about him earlier. He is the dangerous deep man. And he comes up with a huge touchdown right at the end of the first half. And the extra point is good to make it 21-all with 1.5 seconds remaining. My, oh my. Well, Carthage going deep, and Ethan Olis, with 11 seconds to go, fired it down the near sideline. James Cobbs with a diving effort in the end zone, coming up with the touchdown. And so now with just 1.5 seconds remaining, Elmhurst will probably just cover up this kick. Don't believe Carthage will kick it deep. So we're going to be in for one heck of a second half here. We're tied at 21. Again, both teams with just 1 conference loss. 2 teams that are undefeated in conference, North Central and Wheaton, are playing tonight in Naperville. So the winner of this game will have 1 conference loss. They'll be tied for 2nd with the loser of the Wheaton North Central game. If you can understand all that. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jay football coming to you live from Langhorst Field on the campus of Elmhurst College. Good ball game here. 21 apiece. Ethan Olis just hit James Cobbs for a touchdown, and Elmhurst did touch it, so the clock has expired, and the return man does go down for Elmhurst, and there is a flag. Flag coming down as the 2 teams heading for their respective halftime spots, but this half is not over yet. And this one may go against Carthage. We'll see the tail end of it here as you see the return there from Chris Ivers, number 30. All the officials are congregating at the 23-yard line. There is no time left on the half. And the Carthage team is heading off the field. Elmhurst is also heading off the field. Coach Plans, he wants an explanation. He's out there walking towards the officials. And we still haven't gotten a call yet from Dave Wallace. And Ron Plants with his hands on his hips. And now looks like we're going to get a call here.
Unsportsmanlike, 39 on the kicking team, striking to the pitch. Penalty be assessed on the second half kickoff.
All right, so unsportsmanlike conduct against Carthage. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff to start the second half. So one half of football officially now in the books, and we got a good one here at Langhorst Field. Elmhurst and Carthage were tied at 21. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming. They're finishing their playing careers here, and so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Definitely being on the cross-country and track team, that has been really great. The athletic community as a whole is really inclusive and inviting, and then having that team, it's really family-oriented. We usually have 20 girls on the team, and we're all brought together by our love for running, and our coach is really instrumental in that. But you get to know each other so well through practices, and you're going through all these really hard workouts together. So you're putting everything you've got out there, and you're all supporting each other. You get to know each other on a really personal level that you might not otherwise just by meeting these girls in class. So you get to know about their families and their classes and their goals for the season, and you really support each other. The Division III athlete is kind of the perfect balance of student athlete too. You still get your sport, and it's highly competitive, and we compete just as much as the D1 athletes do, but then we are allowed to be students, and we can be involved in a lot of other things. I know a lot of the girls on my team and myself are involved in a lot of other clubs and organizations, and I feel like at a D1 school you kind of are limited. You can only be on your sports team and then study too for your classes. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with that.
College only happens once. You need to know what you're getting into. That's why we made this video. We wanted to give you an idea of what you might choose to get into at Elmhurst College. We went around the campus with a camera for a full school year and asked people what they thought about the place. We didn't plant anybody and we didn't script anything. We just asked questions. We started at new student orientation.
I chose Elmhurst because the campus is really nice, first off. I like it a lot, and it's really close to Chicago. I like Chicago.
The reason why I chose to come here is the smart classes and the atmosphere. The people here are friendly, and I just love it.
Nicest campus I've seen anywhere. I visited a lot of other schools, but this one just had all the trees. They had the atmosphere.
All the people I've met have been really, really friendly.
It's a beautiful campus.
It's a beautiful campus. Lots of plants, lots of friendly people. And they're just so helpful. Everyone wants to help you out to get to where you need to be.
Come on in, everybody. It's good to have you here.
It's just going to be a fun year all together. Meet lots of people, hang out, go downtown a lot.
Now it's time to kick off the school year. That means going to class. You've been doing that for years already, but classes at Elmhurst are a little different.
If you've never experienced something, you can definitely get into it and experience it here at Elmhurst.
It's an open environment. Anywhere you go, you're going to get that opportunity just to better yourself.
when you're in the large universities, you don't get that opportunity because you're just another student and they're just talking in front of you.
The class size is smaller, so you're not in a class of about like 600 people.
I know all of my professors by name, and what's better is they know me by name.
You can go to them and feel comfortable dropping them an email, stopping by their office during office hours and asking for help.
Every morning I wake up and I'm excited to see my students again. I love hearing them and their stories and getting to know them.
The opportunity to interact with faculty in a real meaningful way, whether it's in collaborative research, whether it's one-on-one, talking about aspects of the class in their offices, the availability, all those things are there.
Learning doesn't only take place in the classroom, but outside the classroom.
The lecturing style has sort of gone out of fashion. You do present some material, but you try for the students to discover the answers rather than providing them to the students.
It's a process, and we create that process every time, every class.
In business, they're not looking for people that have more accounting or more marketing. They're looking for people with what we consider the liberal learning skills.
You're going to be able to combine professional interests with a liberal arts education.
Elmhurst College is preparing me for my life experience later on after college, and it's a great environment to grow.
Elmhurst College gave me a chance to kind of sit back and evaluate the world at large, and then begin to say, okay, I could kind of see myself doing this.
Of course, all work and no play is no way to go through college. That's why we have special weekends like homecoming. Football is one of 18 varsity sports at Elmhurst. It's not the Big Ten. In a lot of ways, it's better.
But what separated Elmhurst College from every other institution that was looking to recruit me as a football player is Elmhurst College was more interested in me being a student athlete.
Knowing that I would be running cross country and track all 4 years, I think it's really helped me structure my educational career as well.
Being a student athlete takes up a lot of time, but it's a commitment that you really want to make.
What commitment do you want to make? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
There's over 100 different clubs and organizations on campus.
Elmhurst has something for everyone, there really is. I mean, whatever your interest is, it's here.
I've been involved in the music department, in the band, and now the orchestra. Intramural sports, or art, or music, or drama.
They have a Greek system here, and I really wanted to get involved.
Joining a fraternity, playing on the men's soccer team for 4 years.
You have so many opportunities to get your hands on things. You know, I was involved in union board and volleyball.
There's just a huge array that you can choose from.
You can definitely make a difference, definitely.
You can also make a difference far beyond the campus. Our study abroad program gives you a chance to experience the world. Elmhurst students study in 44 countries.
The first January I was here, I studied in France, and the second January I studied in India.
Back home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of going to college in Elmhurst, Illinois, a special suburb of a great city.
Downtown Elmhurst is walking distance, and there's so many things going on. We have the movie theater, there's restaurants, there's shopping.
The train station's right within walking distance, and you can always go to downtown Chicago.
About half-hour metro ride away. And so a lot of my friends will go downtown every few weekends and see what's down there. There's a lot of class trips that go downtown.
I like to go into the city. I enjoy spending time there. It's something totally new and different for me.
One reason you're going to college is to prepare for a life of professional achievement. We'll help you to get the hands-on experience you need to really know your stuff.
If you're looking for a job or you're looking for an internship, they have so many connections to help you.
They want to help you junior and senior year to be able to get those internships and get those job opportunities.
It gives you an automatic network of people.
I work for WGN. I am a sports news intern.
I'm currently interning at Victory Records, which is downtown Chicago.
I'm a sales planning intern with the Kellogg Company.
I'm interning at Paramount Public Relations.
I'm currently interning with the Chicago Bears.
There's a lot of teamwork involved in my internship, so you really learn how to work with other people.
It's very hands-on.
Just being able to work with their players, like the guys you see on TV on Sunday, and just kind of finding out that there's regular guys like everyone else. It's really been cool.
You're in a small school and then you have this opportunity in a big city, and I've met artists, been to concerts, and it's awesome.
Our job is to help students learn how to navigate and manage their own career when they graduate.
So that's Elmhurst College in about 7 minutes. we'll leave you with a few final thoughts from our students and faculty.
Those people who decide to come here simply say that there was a feeling about the campus. They said there's just something, they sense something more, like hey, I belong here.
Coming in here and making the connections with the people that I have, I know that even when I graduate, I'm still going to have these connections. I'm still going to have a home here even, 5, 10, 20 years down the road.
I'm sure there's other good schools out there too, but I think you'd have a hard time beating Elmhurst.
Your experience is going to really be what college ought to be.
Originally, it was a breath of fresh air. I'm alone. What am I gonna do? What could I possibly do? What's ahead for me? And once I got on campus, I just excelled. I utilized all my resources coming here. It was a program called Direct Connect, which was a minority program to get students situated with the campus 2 weeks before school started. So I actually lived on campus 2 weeks before. I went to seminars, which actually helped us get acquainted to the long campus hours. The teachers that were in the seminars were actually going to be our teachers that were on campus. So we have something here called the first year seminar, which not only is supposed to promote growth within the freshmen, but also serve as a guidance or a type of direction for their first time here. And they were ecstatic. They helped me, they gravitated towards me, and I actually use them as a stepping stone even now in senior year. Growing up, I did not have that type of support. In high school, you think you can stay after class, but what will other students think? I think once I got here, it was more so what do I want? Just having a drive, a motivation to go forth and actually reach out for help or ask for help.
There's always a new experience right around the corner. I didn't plan on running here. And then, right before school started, I emailed.
College only happens once. You need to know what you're getting into. That's why we made this video. We wanted to give you an idea of what you might choose to get into at Elmhurst College. We went around the campus with a camera for a full school year and asked people what they thought about the place. We didn't plant anybody and we didn't script anything. We just asked questions. We started at new student orientation.
I chose Elmhurst because the campus is really nice, first off. I like it a lot, and it's really close to Chicago. I like Chicago.
The reason why I chose to come here is the smart classes and the atmosphere. The people here are friendly, and I just love it.
Nicest campus I've seen anywhere. I visited a lot of other schools, but this one just had all the trees. They had the atmosphere.
All the people I've met have been really, really friendly.
It's a beautiful campus.
It's a beautiful campus. Lots of plants, lots of friendly people. And they're just so helpful. Everyone wants to help you out to get to where you need to be.
Come on in, everybody. It's good to have you here.
It's just going to be a fun year all together. Meet lots of people, hang out, go downtown a lot.
Now it's time to kick off the school year. That means going to class. You've been doing that for years already, but classes at Elmhurst are a little different.
If you've never experienced something, you can definitely get into it and experience it here at Elmhurst.
It's an open environment. Anywhere you go, you're going to get that opportunity just to better yourself. When you're in the large universities, you don't get that opportunity because you're just another student and they're just talking in front of you.
The class size is smaller, so you're not in a class of about 600 people.
I know all of my professors by name, and what's better is they know me by name.
You can go to them and feel comfortable dropping them an email, stopping by their office during office hours and asking for help.
Every morning I wake up and I'm excited to see my students again. I love hearing them and their stories and getting to know them.
The opportunity to interact with faculty in a real meaningful way, whether it's in collaborative research, whether it's one-on-one, talking about aspects of the class in their offices, the availability, all those things are there.
Learning doesn't only take place in the classroom, but outside the classroom.
The lecturing style has sort of gone out of fashion. You do present some material, but you try for the students to discover the answers rather than providing them to the student.
It's a process, and we create that process every time, every class.
In business, they're not looking for people that have more accounting or more marketing. They're looking with people with what we consider the liberal learning skills.
You're going to be able to combine professional interests with a liberal arts education.
Elmhurst College is preparing me for my life experience later on after college, and it's a great environment to grow.
Elmhurst College gave me a chance to kind of sit back and evaluate the world at large, and then begin to say, okay, I could kind of see myself doing this.
Of course, all work and no play is no way to go through college. That's why we have special weekends like homecoming. Football is one of 18 varsity sports at Elmhurst. It's not the Big Ten. In a lot of ways, it's better.
But what separated Elmhurst College from every other institution that was looking to recruit me as a football player is Elmhurst College was more interested in me being a student athlete.
Knowing that I would be running cross country and track all 4 years, I think it's really helped me structure my educational career as well.
Being a student athlete takes up a lot of time, but it's a commitment that you really want to make.
What commitment do you want to make? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
There's over 100 different clubs and organizations on campus.
Elmhurst has something for everyone, there really is. I mean, whatever your interest is, it's here.
I've been involved in the music department, in the band, and now the orchestra. Intramural sports, or art, or music, or drama.
They have a great system here, and I really wanted to get involved.
Joining a fraternity, playing on the men's soccer team for 4 years.
You have so many opportunities to get your hands on things. You know, I was involved in union board and volleyball.
There's just a huge array that you can choose from.
You can definitely make a difference, definitely.
You can also make a difference far beyond the campus. Our study abroad program gives you a chance to experience the world. Elmhurst students study in 44 countries.
The first January I was here, I studied in France, and the second January I studied in India.
Back home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of going to college in Elmhurst, Illinois, a special suburb of a great city.
Downtown Elmhurst is walking distance, and there's so many things going on. We have the movie theater, there's restaurants, there's shopping.
The train station's right within walking distance, and you can always go to downtown Chicago.
About half-hour metro ride away. And so a lot of my friends will go downtown every few weekends and see what's down there. There's a lot of class trips that go downtown.
I like to go into the city. I enjoy spending time there. It's something totally new and different for me.
One reason you're going to college is to prepare for a life of professional achievement. We'll help you to get the hands-on experience you need to really know your stuff.
If you're looking for a job or you're looking for an internship, they have so many connections to help you.
They want to help you junior and senior year to be able to get those internships and get those job opportunities.
It gives you an automatic network of people.
I work for WGN. I am a sports news intern.
I'm currently interning at Victory Records, which is downtown Chicago.
I'm a sales planning intern with the Kellogg Company.
I'm interning at Paramount Public Relations.
I'm currently interning with the Chicago Bears.
There's a lot of teamwork involved in my internship, so you really learn how to work with other people.
It's very hands-on.
Just being able to work with their players, like the guys you see on TV on Sunday, and just kind of finding out that they're just regular guys like everyone else. It's really been cool.
You're in a small school, and then you have this opportunity in the big city, and I've met artists, been to concerts, and it's awesome.
Our job is to help students learn how to navigate and manage their own career when they graduate.
So that's Elmhurst College in about 7 minutes. We'll leave you with a few final thoughts from our students and faculty.
Those people who decide to come here simply say that there was a feeling about the campus. They said there's just something, they sense something more, like hey, I belong here.
Coming in here and making the connections with the people that I have, I know that even when I graduate, I'm still going to have these connections. I'm still going to have a home here even, 5, 10, 20 years down the road.
I'm sure there's other good schools out there too, but I think you'd have a hard time beating Elmhurst.
Your experience is going to really be what college ought to be.
originally, like, it was a breath of fresh air. Like, I'm alone. What am I gonna do? Like, what could I possibly do? What's ahead for me? And once I got on campus, I just excelled. Like, I utilized all my resources coming here. It was a program called Direct Connect, which was like a minority program to get students like situated with the campus 2 weeks before school started. So I actually lived on campus 2 weeks before. I went to seminars, which actually helped us get acquainted to the long campus hours. The teachers that were in the seminars were actually going to be our teachers that were on campus. So we have something here called the first year seminar, which not only is supposed to promote growth within the freshmen, but also serve as like a guidance or a type of direction for their first time here. And like, they were ecstatic. Like, they helped me, they gravitated towards me, and I actually use them as a stepping stone even now in senior year. Growing up, like, I did not have that type of support. In high school, you think like, oh, like, you can stay after class, but what will other students think? I think once I got here, it was more so like, what do I want? Like, just having a drive, a motivation to like go forth and actually reach out for help or ask for help.
Tried that onside kick and successfully recovered that onside kick. So we'll see if they decide to do that again here as we start the third quarter here from Langhorst Field in Elmhurst. Glad you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Carthage and Elmhurst. James Cobbs is the deep man for Carthage. He had that big touchdown catch at the end of the first half. And he's going to have it from the own 5 as he goes to the far side, tries to get to the edge, and he gets tackled at the 18-yard line. So Partenheimer decides to not go for the onside kick, instead kicks it deep. Carthage will start 1st and 10 from its own 19-yard line. They've had 2 quarterbacks in that first half, Kyle Freiberg, Ethan Ollis. And they've also had Nick Anselmo at quarterback in there as well. But it looks like we got Kyle Freiberg, the starting quarterback. He'll be in to start the third quarter. Works out of the shotgun here. He's going to roll out here and look for a receiver. Now throwing, and that pass is complete there to Jamal Wright. Did a nice job of staying in bounds, and the ball is going to be spotted at the 26. Gain of 7, 2nd and 3. Elmhurst jumped out to a 14-0 lead in this game, but then 2 touchdowns unanswered by Carthage tied the game up. Touchdown then by Elmhurst, and that touchdown at the end of the first half for Carthage tied it up at 21. Cobbs is the motion man here from the bottom to the top. Now he's in the slot. They're going to hand the ball off, and Jamel Davis is going to get to the 36. Davis is going to pick up 13 and enough for a first down. So Jamel Davis, 6'2" freshman out of Naples, Florida, with a big run there all the way to the 36. Freiberg with time, throwing, and to the near side, bobbled a little bit, but they're saying the catch by Javier Rhodes at the 44, 8 yards on the pickup. So 2nd down and 2. Rhodes, it looked like he bobbled a little bit as he slid here to the near sideline, but he stayed in bounds, 8-yard reception, 2nd down and 2. Freiberg, by the way, in the first half was 4 of 7 for 77 yards. Olis was 4 of 5 for 72 yards passing. Going to hand it off, and Davis dives to the 49-yard line, tackled by Brian Tucker. It will be enough for a 1st down. 1st and 10 Carthage from their own 49-yard line. So a good drive, a good start to this 3rd quarter for Carthage. Blue Jays start off the season with a victory at Loris, 28-27. Talked about that. Lost at Olivet, 27-13. Beat North Park, 42-10. And then a tough loss at Wheaton, 10-6. Davis straight up the middle as he goes close to the 40-yard line. 9-yard pickup. It's going to be they're going to spot it at the 41-yard line. It will be a 1st down. So Jamel Davis with a couple of nice big runs on this possession. All the way down to the Blue Jay 41-yard line. 2 minutes into this 3rd quarter. Freiberg is going to hand it off to McGarry. McGarry's got a block ahead of him. Good tackle there at the 34-yard line. Brian Tucker was there with the tackle for the Blue Jays, but he picked up 7 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 3. Carthage getting some really nice yardage on 1st downs, setting up 2nd down and short like it is in this situation. 2nd and 3. Need to get to the 31 to pick up a 1st. Blue Jays looking for the stop. Again, straight up the middle, running again by Davis, but he doesn't get much there. Maybe a yard on the play. Eddie Byer was there to make the tackle. 6'2" senior out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, went to Hersey High School. And now he trots off as Alec DeTola comes into the game. DeTola with 7 tackles in that first half. 4 unassisted. 3rd down and 3 now. Into the game is Nick Anselmo, the 3rd quarterback. Actually, he's off center. It's Freiberg under center. Freiberg goes to the play action, deep to Cobbs, and it's incomplete through his hands. But there is a penalty marker thrown in the secondary. See if we can take another look at it here. Don't know if there was pass interference. It looked like it was pretty clean. Now Tyler Schwartz was called for holding. That's the 7th penalty of the game for Elmhurst. Going to bring it down to the 23. 1st and 10. Opening drive here of this 3rd quarter. We're tied at 21. Kyle Freiberg working out of the gun. 1st and 10. Freiberg's going to keep it inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. So Carthage getting to the red zone now. Gain of 3. 2nd down, actually a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 now for Freiberg and Carthage. London Townsend and Eddie Miklish, each with 3 receptions in the first half for Carthage. Townsend is the lone back. He had 6 carries for 27 yards in that first half. Townsend gets the call here as he gets inside the 15, and he dives for a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal here for Carthage. Nice run by London Townsend. You see him cut it to the outside. Boy, he's showing some speed as well. Him and Jamel Davis. Davis, more of a power runner. Davis into the game now, number 19, along with Lafayette McGarry. They're one on either side of Kyle Freiberg. 1st and goal from the 7. Freiberg is going to throw to the end zone, and it's a touchdown. That's number 88, Javier Rhodes. His 13th catch of the season, his 3rd touchdown of the season as well. Javier Rhodes, and for the first time this afternoon, Carthage takes the lead. Very impressive drive here to start this 3rd quarter for Carthage. Extra point is good to make it 28-21 in favor of Carthage. Well, so now Hernandez and company got to go back to work. See if the Blue Jays can put together a nice drive here to perhaps tie this one up. Boy, they started out nice to start this game. 2 touchdowns, up 14-0. But then some costly penalties. Give some credit to Carthage. Again, they were idle last week, so they had a couple of weeks to prepare for these Blue Jays. And they've played pretty well here this afternoon. Lance Unland just kicked the extra point. Will kick it away here from the 35-yard line. 10:16 remaining here in the 3rd. 28-21. Carthage with the lead. Carthage has 5 different receivers now that have caught a ball. Unland ready to kick it off here for the Redmen. Jawan Gaines is the deep man. They try to stay away from him. Taken by one of the up men across the 30. And he brings it back to the 33-yard line. Pretty good field position. Jim Scales returning it, the 6'3" junior out of Rockford, Michigan, returning it for the Blue Jays. And so now out comes Orlando Hernandez, who in that first half, 11 carries for just 7 yards, but he was 12 of 22 passing for 186 yards and 1 touchdown. Works out of the shotgun here. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your monitor. They're going to hand it off here. This is number 24, Ryan Weir. Or check that, I'm sorry, Ben Holloway. Holloway, the ball carrier. He'll get to the 38. Pick up a 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. They need to get to the 43-yard line to pick up the first down. Ben, 2 carries in the first half for 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. Hernandez hands it off to Brewer. Brewer breaks a couple of tackles. He dives forward to the 45. It'll be a first down as he gets tackled at the 46-yard line. A pickup of 8. 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Justin Ward comes into the game, number 17. Ward is split out to the top of your monitor along with Brockman. Partenheimer and McKellar are to the bottom. 1st and 10 for Hernandez from his own 46. Hernandez fakes the handoff. Pass is complete to Brockman, and he'll pick up 11 and a first down. All the way down to the Carthage 43. Nice job by Hernandez spotting Matt, a 6'4" sophomore, local kid. Went to Montini Catholic. So a good drive here going here for Orlando and the Blue Jays here. 1st and 10 from the Carthage 43. Hernandez looking at the play on his wristband. Out of the gun. Going to launch it off to Ward. A little bit of contact there between Connor and Calvert, but no call. 2nd and 10. Just a quick hit. Tried to get it up over and get it to Ward, who is 6'2". Calvert at 5'8". So 2nd down and 2 now for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst perfect here at Langhorse Field this year, 2-0. Hernandez handing it off. Here's Brewer. Breaks one tackle. He's inside the 40, and he's tackled at the 36-yard line. Gain of 7, so they need 3 more yards. 3rd and 3. They need to get to the 33. Nice 7-yard pickup there by Brewer. Broke off one tackle and dove forward, and now they're 3 yards short of the 1st down. Single coverage here to the bottom of your monitor. Kalon Miller and Connor Calvert, 1-on-1. 3rd down and 3. Hernandez rolling out to his right. Brockman, oh, he dropped it. That ball was behind him. Would have been a tough catch. It would have been enough for a 1st down as Matt dove just beyond the 1st down marker. But it's going to bring up 4th down now, and what are the Blue Jays going to do here? Looks like they're going to bring in the punting unit. Corey Partenheimer, the wide receiver, and he is also the punter. He's standing right at midfield. Back for Carthage is Tommy Bazarek, standing at his 10-yard line. So we'll see if Corey can pin Carthage deep down. Looking for the corner. Partenheimer is not going to get it as it rolls into the end zone. It will be a touchback. Carthage takes over now. 7:37 left to go here in the 3rd. Blue Jays desperately need a stop here. This will be a great time for a turnover. See who Carthage brings out. Is still Kyle Freiberg, number 5. 1st and 10, Redmen from their own 20-yard line, leading by 7. Handed off Townsend, goes straight up the middle, maybe 2 yards. Or check that, that's McGarry, number 35, as he gets to the 22. 2nd down and 8. Well, actually, they're going to spot it at the 23, it looks like. 2nd and 7. Coming up on the 7-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Carthage with the ball, leading by 7. Good ball game here at Langhorse Field here this afternoon. Freiberg, little screen underneath to McGarry, and McGarry gets shoved out of bounds by Tristan Bolus, but not before he crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 1st down. 8 yards on that reception for McGarry, that little screen pass. They're spotted at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10, Redmen. Freiberg continuing to work out of the pistol formation. Cobbs is the motion man. Sets up now to the slot to the bottom. McGarry gets the call, and he'll get to the 34. 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and long. 2nd and 9. They're spotting it at the 33. Keep an eye out on James Cobbs. Tristan Bolas, single coverage to the bottom of your monitor. Freiberg is going to hand it off again. This is McGarry. And maybe a couple to the 36. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. Big stop here for the Blue Jays, as Carthage needs to get to the 42 to pick up a first. Jamel Wright, Tommy Bazarek are to the bottom of your monitor. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Freiberg looking over for the play. Five on the play clock. 2, and with 1 second left, Freiberg, did he get it off? Did he get the timeout? Yes. They called the timeout just as the play clock hit 1. And so Carthage does get the timeout. 5:14 left to play here in the 3rd. Big play coming up here for this Elmhurst College defense. Elmhurst, before the season started, they were finished to place 9th in the CCIW preseason coaches poll. The Blue Jays totaled 13 points in the poll to finish in 9th place. Wheaton was picked to defend the CCIW title, securing the top spot with 5 first-place votes. North Central just 1 point behind, and then Illinois Wesleyan. All right, here we go. 3rd down and 5 for Freiberg and Carthage. The screen to Townsend, and they will have the first down. Well executed by Carthage as Freiberg hit Townsend out in the flat for the little screen, and Townsend knew where the first down marker was, got there, went out of bounds at the 43, and it's 1st and 10 Redmen. Carthage's only loss coming to Wheaton, losing 19-14. McGarry's not going to go nowhere. Alec DeToli, the 5'11 senior out of St. Charles North High School, was there to make the stop and make sure McGarry didn't go anywhere. 2nd down, actually lost 2, back to the 41, so it's going to be 2nd and 12. James Cobbs is now to the top. Single covered by Bolas. Freiberg now goes under center. 2nd down and 12. McGarry is the lone back. Play action here. Freiberg, again, that little screen. And that one is complete. Boy, that play. Sean Wells, the 6'2 sophomore tight end. That little screen underneath has been successful for the Redmen. Nice gain all the way to the 49 of Elmhurst. Brings up 3rd down and a long 2. Nice to have a big tight end. Of course, they've got Javier Rhodes, number 88 as well. Freiberg, 3rd down and 2. Works out of the gun. May have been a busted play. He's going to take it and dive forward, and he'll have the first down. They'll move the chains as he dives to the 46. And limping off is Mike Weaver, 6'3 senior. So Weaver getting looked at on the Elmhurst sideline here. Meanwhile, it's 1st and 10 for Carthage from the 46 of Elmhurst. Freiberg is going to hand it off to McGarry. McGarry get tackled at the 44. Eddie Byer came in at the end of that play. Brian Tucker with the initial hit. 2 yards on the play. 2nd down, 8 yards now for Carthage. Boy, they have done a nice job, the Redmen have, of running the clock. As I mentioned, Carthage ranked second in the league with an average of 33 minutes and 1 second time of possession. Elmhurst does a great job as well of controlling the football. Little screen here to McGarry, and again, McGarry shoved out by Andy Warson. But again, a nice gain after the screen pass, and again, something that Carthage has been very, very successful with here this afternoon. Once again, Freiberg, there it is, the little screen to McGarry. And you saw Warson shove him out of bounds at the 36. 1st and 10 for Carthage from the 36 of Elmhurst. 28-21, Redmen with the lead. Freiberg out of the pistol, McGarry right behind him. He's going to hand it off to McGarry, straight up the middle, spins and gets tackled inside the 30 to the 29. A gain of 7. Tackled on the play by Parode Charles. But again, a nice gain on 1st down brings up a 2nd down and 3 for Carthage. Second down, 3 yards to go here for Freiberg. And the Redmen. Minute 25 left to play here in the 3rd. Again, it's McGarry straight up the middle. And he's going to go all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. 29-yard touchdown run by Lafayette McGarry, a 5'7" sophomore out of Chicago. Take another look at it here as he was basically untouched there until Hassman tackled him, but not before he crossed the goal line. Man. McGarry, that's only his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. Lance Unland coming in for the extra point for Carthage. It is good, and that makes it 35-21 now in favor of Carthage. Boy, Carthage coming out here in this 3rd quarter and really taking control of the clock and taking control of this game. Fortunately for Elmhurst, there's a minute 17 left to go here in the 3rd, and got the whole 4th quarter to work with. They retaped the left ankle area of Mike Weaver. He's still on the training table here on the track on the near side. Well, Jawan Gaines is the deep man for Elmhurst. Maybe he can break one. If you recall, he broke one in the 1st half, but it was brought back on a penalty. So Unland will kick it off from the 35-yard line. Boy, again, the Blue Jays just started off this game just playing so well, scoring the first 2 touchdowns, up 14-0. But you got to give some credit to this Carthage ball club fighting back and making the adjustments at halftime. Of course, that big touchdown catch at the end of the 1st half, and Carthage continued with that momentum into the 3rd quarter. Unland with the kick. Gaines has to retreat, and it's going to go into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. So Hernandez and the offensive unit coming back out to work. Their own 25-yard line. 1:17 remaining here in this 3rd quarter. Two wide receivers to either side for Hernandez. 1st and 10. 1:17 remaining here in the 3rd. Hernandez is going to hand it off. Diving forward for about 3 is Connor Brewer, 6-foot senior out of Haslett, Michigan. Pickup of 2, 2nd and 8 at the 28. Under a minute left here in this 3rd quarter. 35-21. Carthage averaging 34 points per game this season. They have hit that. The Blue Jays averaging just about 25 points per contest. Hernandez out of the gun on 2nd down and 8 here to the near side to Miller, and almost making the spectacular catch. Now the coverage there, Virgil Young, 5'9" sophomore out of Lake Bluff, Illinois. Here you take another look at it here, as Miller almost went over the back of Young to come up with that catch, but it goes out of bounds, or it falls incomplete, and it brings up 3rd down and 8. Boy, Elmhurst needs to put together some first downs so they can keep their defense off the field. Elmhurst defense has been out there almost this entire 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 8 for Hernandez. Throws across the middle, and that one is incomplete. Miller was the intended receiver. Carthage was applying the pressure on Hernandez. And so 3 and out here for the Blue Jays. Let's take another look at it here. Yeah, they were up on the line. They brought him. And Hernandez trying to hit Miller on the post, and it's going to be incomplete. 4th down and 8 now. Partenheimer standing at his own 15. Nice punt. Bazarek has to retreat, and he catches it and drops it at the 19. Now he picks it up and sprints here to the near side, and he's going to get tackled back at the 12. Really good special teams tackle there by number 88, Jim Scales. Saw the tail end of it there, so great job with the punting unit, bringing Carthage all the way back now to their 13-yard line. 14 seconds remaining here in the 3rd. Freiberg out of the pistol here. McGarry gets the call. McGarry gets across the 15 to the 18-yard line. He'll pick up 5 as the 3rd quarter comes to a close here at Langhorst Field in Elmhurst. We'll head to the 4th quarter. Blue Jays trailing by a couple of touchdowns. 35-21 in favor of Elmhurst. And we've got an injured Carthage player down on the field. As the two teams will switch ends of the field to start this 4th quarter. Again, we talk about 4th quarters in that season opener against Loris. Elmhurst with a huge 4th quarter to get that win. 28-27 was the final in that one. Let's hope they can have a similar big 4th quarter here this afternoon. Again, the big game in the CCIW is tonight at Benedetti Worley Stadium in Naperville. Battle of the Unbeatens in the CCIW. North Central hosting Wheaton College for the Little Brass Bell. And more importantly, the winner of that game will have sole possession of first place in the CCIW. Joe Godlewski, the starting center, was the injured Carthage player, 6-foot junior out of Indianapolis, Indiana. 260-pounder, he comes off the field. It'll be 2nd and 4 here for Carthage to start this 4th quarter. And again, this would be the perfect time for a big defensive play for the Blue Jays. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. Ball is at the 18-yard line. Out of the I formation now for Carthage. It's McGarry straight up the middle, and he'll get the 22. 4 yards on the play, and it should be, well, they're going to spot it just short, 3rd and inches. Tyler Schwartz, number 8, was there to make the stop, safety. 3rd down and inches here for Carthage as we open up 4th quarter action. Jamal Wright and James Cobbs to the bottom of your monitor. Freiberg out of the shotgun. Cobbs is the motion man. Instead, they hand it off to McGarry, and he will lose a couple on the play. Tackle for a loss. So it's going to bring up 4th down. John Rubino, 5'11" junior, with the tackle, loss of 2. So a great stop there on 3rd down and inches. Brings up 4th down and 2, and Carthage going to punt. Opening moments of this 4th quarter. Elmhurst should get pretty good field position. They have nobody back. It's going to bounce to the side, and it's going to be down at the 47. So good field position here for the Blue Jays. Orlando Hernandez back to work. 1st and 10. 13:35 left to play here in this game. Elmhurst with the ball, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Looking ahead to the rest of the season, next week they'll be off, the Blue Jays will. And then on October 29th, they'll be at Illinois Wesleyan, back home here against Millikin on November 5th. And then the final game of the regular season, November 12th, at North Central, taking on the Cardinals. Hernandez drop, and they try to hit the screen, and they do. Dan Borgo to the 48 of Carthage. 6-yard reception. Brings up 2nd down and 4. Call it 2nd and 5 as the ball is at the 48. We approach the 13-minute mark of this ball game. Not saying this is a absolute must to score, but it sure would help. And they're going to hand the ball off here to Dan Borgo. It's going to be close to a 1st down. It's going to be about a yard short. 3rd down and a long 1. You would think this would be 2-down territory. 3rd down and a yard for the Blue Jays. Hernandez steps up. He's under center. 3rd down and a yard. Hernandez straight up the middle. He's going to have the 1st down. And they're going to spot it at the 42-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Coming up on the 12-minute mark. Looking ahead to Carthage, they'll be back at home next week against Illinois Wesleyan. And then at Millikin, they'll host North Central on November 5th, and they'll finish the regular season at North Park on November 12th. 1st and 10. Hernandez has his man Brockman. And Brockman, the big guy, carries a couple defenders all the way inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. 23-yard pass reception from Hernandez to Brockman. And the Blue Jays are in the red zone once again. See the strength and the power of Brockman, 6'4", 215-pounder. 1st and 10 from the 19. Hernandez working out of the pistol. Borgo is the deep man in the backfield. Faking it to the left, going deep into the corner. And what's the call? Incomplete. Brockman, I believe he caught it, but his feet he was out of bounds. Take another look at it here. You see Matt Brockman in the left corner. Well, didn't see quite the end of that one there, but good effort that time. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Connor Brewer comes into the game, number 3. Brockman will come out. 11:05 left. 2nd down and 10. Bargo just to the right of Hernandez. Hernandez fakes to Bargo. Hernandez is going to keep it, and he's going to get hit right by KJ Simpson. Maybe he got a yard. They spot it. Nope, they're going to spot it right back at the 19. No gain. 3rd down and 10. .10:40 to play. 3rd and 10 here for the Blue Jays. Big play here for Hernandez. Brewer to the left. Hernandez with the blitz coming, throws, and intended for Keelan Miller. Miller looking for the interference call as Calvert goes down, but no call. Incomplete, and it's going to bring up 4th and 10. Well, don't think you want the field goal. You're down 14 points here with just over 10 minutes to go. Looks like the Blue Jays are going to go forward here, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Huge play. 3 wides to the top of your monitor. Hernandez, 4th down and 10, looking that way, across the middle, he's got his man, touchdown! Corey Partenheimer from Orlando Hernandez on 4th and 10, 19 yards. What a huge play in this game. Here's another look at it here. Beautifully thrown ball, Partenheimer running a beautiful route, and you see the exuberation by Corey after he got into the end zone. Now the extra point attempt. Blue Jays trying to get to within 7 now. And it is good. Wow, a huge play. On 4th down and 10, Blue Jays now down 7. Wow, Hernandez finding Corey Partenheimer on the seam route, and Corey taking it in for the touchdown. Remember, Corey had that 65-yard touchdown catch, the first play from scrimmage last week against Carroll. Comes up with another big touchdown here this afternoon. So now the Blue Jay defense has to come up big. Carthage has done a great job of possessing the ball here in the second half, especially in that third quarter. Scored a couple of touchdowns. 35-28. You're logged on to BlueJayTV.com. Blue Jay football. Glad you're enjoying this one here this afternoon. Coming to you from Langhorst Field. Corey Partenheimer tees it up from the 35-yard line. Again, the dangerous man back for Carthage is number 2, James Cobbs. Had a brilliant touchdown catch at the end of the first half to tie the game up and sort of give Carthage the momentum going into that third quarter. Blue Jays kicking unit ready to go. Partenheimer boots it pretty deep, and Gary from the goal line returns it back to the 20. 20-yard return for Lafayette McGarry, and so that's where Kyle Freiberg And the Redmen will take over here. 10:04 left. Carthage would like nothing more than to put together a long, sustained drive, take a lot of time off the clock, and make it a 2-score deal. Blue Jays obviously need a stop. Well, Ethan Ollis now back in instead of Freiberg here. Ollis is going to hand it off to McGarry, straight up the middle, and McGarry gets to the 25. 5-yard pickup on the play. Tristan Bolus came up to make the tackle. 2nd down and 5. Under 10 minutes to play. Again, Carthage, actually both teams, Carthage and Elmhurst, do a great job of running the clock, putting together long, sustained drives. Carthage now on 2nd and 5. Ollis, play action, throwing. Oh, nearly picked off that time. Tyler Schwartz almost with the interception. A great diving effort that time by Tyler. Oh, my. That one was up for grabs. Sean Wells was the intended receiver. So now it's 3rd down and 5. Blue Jay crowd on its feet here at Langhorse Field. Ollis out of the pistol here. Blue Jay, 4-man rush, and that pass is complete there to number 24. That's Tommy Bazarek. And he's tackled at the 34-yard line, excuse me, but it is enough for a 1st down. 3rd down and 5, and Ollis comes through with the pass to Bazarek. 1st and 10, Carthage from the 34. 9 minutes remaining. Ollis again out of the pistol here. 1st and 10 from the 34. Handed off. This is Townsend as he tries to get to the edge. Cuts back across the 40 and tackled at the 43 by Andy Warson. But a gain of 9 as he got a hold of the jersey and brought him down that way. But again, good yardage on 1st down. 2nd and a yard. Two receivers to the bottom of your monitor here on 2nd down and a yard. Cobbs goes in motion. They hand it off to Cobbs. Goes and has the 1st down, tackled at the 48. 5-yard pickup for James Cobbs. Move the chains and the clock continues to tick away. We are approaching the 8-minute mark now. Carthage with 2 timeouts left. Elmhurst all 3 of its timeouts left. Ollis goes under center. Cobbs is the motion man. Ollis is going to hand it off. McGarry's going to lose a yard on the play. Parode Charles, number 4, was in initially to make the tackle. And it's going to be 2nd and 11 now. See what Carthage decides to do here. 2nd and long. And they're taking a lot of time, coming up on the 7-minute mark. High snap. Ollis comes away with it. He's going to throw. Deep, intended for Cobbs. And he makes the catch, and he's tackled all the way down at the 10. James Cobbs with the reception, and all that running and that running and that running set up this pass here to James Cobbs. Boy, oh boy, he has come up with a couple of huge plays this afternoon for Carthage. Down to the 10, first and goal, Redmen. Unbelievable catch by the 5'11 junior James Cobbs. Olis out of the pistol, McGarry set up behind him. They're going to give to McGarry, straight up the middle as he fights his way forward down to the 6. Picks up 4, second and goal from the 6. And now we're going to get to the 6-minute mark. Boy, oh boy. James Cobbs, again, I can't say enough. He has come up with some big plays. Remember that touchdown catch to end the first half. And now this reception here, midway through this fourth quarter. Second and goal from the 6. Anselmo gets the direct snap. Anselmo, number 14, buries his way down to the, or barrels his way, I should say, down to the 2. Gain of 4, third and goal. So Anselmo is your big guy, straight ahead power runner. And it looks like number 14 is going to stay in there, Anselmo at quarterback. 2 wide receivers to the top for Carthage. Coming out to the bottom of your monitor is Jamal Wright. It's still Anselmo out of the gun here from the 2. Cobbs is in motion. Anselmo's going to keep it, dive forward inside the 1. Did he get to the end zone? The officials racing in to spot the football. He's going to be short of the goal. Wow, inches away. 4th down, 4:45 and counting. This is huge. Probably the ball game right here. 4th and inches. Now, Carthage, they're up 7. They can kick a field goal here to make it a 2-possession game. Boy, if the Blue Jays can somehow stop them here. Olis under center. Olis. Oh, I don't think he got there. No, I don't think he did. Olis got stopped. And Elmhurst is going to take over. Yes, Elmhurst football. Wow. 4:12 remaining. Carthage had basically a chip shot for a field goal, which would have made it assuming he would have made the field goal, a 10-point game and a 2-possession deal. But now Elmhurst can go 99.5 yards and tie this one up. But boy, they need some breathing room here, to say the least. They're going to start from their own foot line, if you will. Need to avoid the safety here. Hernandez under center. We'll see if he, well, they're going to hand it off. Boy, I'm not sure if he got out of the end zone. And it is a safety. Wow. They handed it off to Connor Brewer, and the Carthage defense tackled him in the end zone. It's a safety. That's going to make it 37-28 and a 2-possession game. Wow. Boy, oh boy. So a safety for Carthage. With 4:04 left to play in this game, it is now 37-28, a 9-point Redmen lead. So the Blue Jays, they'll get a free kick here from the 20. It'll be Corey Partenheimer. Big play in this game. There's been a couple. James Cobbs has had a couple. Of course, the big one was this defensive stop and the safety to give Carthage the 2 points and, more importantly, a 2-possession lead. Corey Partenheimer is going to tee it up now at the 20. Cobbs and McGarry are back at their own 30-yard line. Elmhurst trying to avoid losing here at Langhorst Field for the first time this season. Partenheimer to kick it off from the 20, and he boots it all the way back to the 10. It's going to bounce into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So Carthage will have it on a flag coming down well after the play is over. Cameron Stubblefield, number 46, went down on his backside at the 42. That's where one of the flags came down. Well, that was well after the ball went into the end zone for the touchback. Then the flags came out. Don't know if there was a late hit or a little extracurricular activity going on here. Boy, another personal foul against Elmhurst. Bit of frustration setting in to the Blue Jays now. So the touchback to the 25, add on 15 with the penalty, and now it's at the 40. And back in at quarterback, Kyle Freiberg, number 5. Cobbs goes in motion. Pistol, McGarry gets the call. Straight up the middle running for him. He may have gotten a yard or two. Good second effort. Alec DeToli, number 43, with the tackle, and DeToli comes up limping. Under 4 minutes to go now. Second down and 7 yards to go here for Carthage, and you know the Redmen are going to take as much of the play clock as they can. Freiberg looking at the play clock, which is now down to 5. Out of the pistol, handing it off to McGarry, straight up the middle, and he gets to the 44. Boy, you have to give some credit. This Carthage team, they do not fumble. They do not give up the football, that's for sure. They spotted at the 45. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 as the Blue Jays calling a timeout here. One of their first one. They have 2 more with 3:12 left to play in this game. 37-28 in favor of Carthage. The Redmen looking to go to 5-1 on the year. If they were to hold on and win this game, they would move to 3-1 in the CCIW. Elmhurst would fall to 4-3 if they would fall today, and they would go to 3-2 in the CCIW. Again, next week the Blue Jays will be off. They'll be back in action on October 29th in Bloomington against Illinois Wesleyan. 3rd down and 5 here for the Redmen. Freiberg is going to bootleg it out, and on the far side, close to midfield, right by that first down marker, shoved out of bounds by Brian Tucker, but did he get his feet at midfield? And judging by the spot, he did. Boy, the tip of that football is right at midfield, and that's where they needed to go. Well, they're calling it 4th down. It's going to be 4th and inches. Wow. Just over 3 minutes to go. 4th and inches here for Carthage. And looks like they're going to call another timeout. I think it's just an official's timeout here.
Well, the play clock was winding down, and they kind of sat on the ball. On the
Game clock is at 2:56.
left it up in the air what to do with the play clock.
They were spotting where the ball was, and the play clock was starting and winding down. So I think that's what they're trying to figure out here. Okay, yeah, they're putting 4 more seconds back on the game clock. Right now it's at 2:56. They want it at 3:01. And ultimately Elmhurst is going to call a timeout now. So one more timeout left for Elmhurst as they burn their second of 3 here with 3 minutes and 1 second remaining. Boy, again, the big play in this game with 1 second to go in the second quarter. The 44-yard touchdown pass from Ethan Ollis to James Cobbs. And that gave the momentum for Carthage into the third quarter. Boy, it's a shame the way Elmhurst started out this game so well. .301 left. All right, here we go. 4th down and inches for the Redmen. 3:01 remaining. Olis, actually that's Anselmo, dives over the top for the first down. Nick Anselmo, the power quarterback, takes it to the 48 of Elmhurst. It's a first down. We've got an injured Carthage player down. It's going to stop the clock with 2:57 left, but it is a Carthage first down. Well, Elmhurst, quite a few penalties here this afternoon, and that's kind of surprising because they enter today's contest the least penalized team in the CCIW. Through the first 6 games, the Blue Jays have been flagged for 25 penalties, 268 total yards. But they've had quite a few personal fouls here today, and that certainly has hurt them. Camden Cotter, the 6'3" junior offensive lineman, the right tackle, the injured player, went to St. Charles North High School. So he comes off the field. It's going to be first down and 10 for Carthage from the Blue Jay 48-yard line. Kyle Freiberg, the starting quarterback, is back in now. Works out of the pistol here with the game clock now down to 4. And they'll hand the ball off to McGarry, and he will get tackled right at midfield. Perot Charles, number 4, came up to make the hit. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. 2:20 left. And again, the Blue Jays with just the 1 timeout left. 2nd and 12. They need to get to the Blue Jay 38-yard line. If they get there, they can just wind the clock down and win the game. Freiberg working out of the pistol here. 2nd down and 12. Play clock down to 2. Again, it's McGarry. No surprise there as he gets tackled to the 40 at the 49. 1-yard pickup, 3rd down and 11. As the Blue Jays burn their final timeout. So no more timeouts remaining for Elmhurst. They cannot stop the clock anymore. talked about how this Blue Jays team has not been penalized a lot. Carthage, on the other side of the coin, they enter today's game as the most penalized team in the CCIW. Through 5 games, the Redmen have committed 37 penalties for 398 yards, a league-high average of nearly 80 yards per game. But the penalties have hurt Elmhurst here this afternoon, not the Redmen. Carthage, 2 weeks to prepare for this game. They didn't play last week. Freiberg handing it off to McGarry. Cuts back, and he'll get about 2. Clock continuing to run. It'll be 4th down. 4th and about 8. 1:27 to go. It'll be under a minute when the Blue Jays get the ball back. And what Carthage is going to do is tell the official, hey, we're going to wind the play clock down to 1 and then call a timeout. Play clock is now down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's the timeout taken by Carthage. They'll have one more. 1 minute and 1 second remaining. Again, I go back to that last play of the first half, just that big, big pass from Ollis to James Cobbs. That really hurt the Blue Jays. But Elmhurst is just going to have to regroup. They are off next week. So they'll have a while to prepare and get ready for Illinois Wesleyan on October 29th. They'll be back home here at Langhorst Field on November 5th against Milliken. Final regular season game, November 12th at North Central College. So Jawan Gaines is the deep man for Elmhurst as the Redmen will punt it away here. Gaines standing at about his own 6. And Gaines comes up. Tried to play it out of bounds, dropped it, picked it back up, and returns it across the 20 and goes out of bounds at the 23 with 49 seconds remaining. But again, more importantly, is they're out of timeouts. So need to work the sidelines, and I'm sure Carthage realizes that as well. 1st and 10, Blue Jays from their own 23-yard line, trailing 37-28. Out comes Hernandez and the Blue Jay offense. Ben Holloway right behind Orlando. Hernandez from the pistol. Now gets flushed out here, the near side throws, and he's got his man. That's Ben Holloway, and he gets brought down at the 40. It's going to be a first down. They'll stop the clock momentarily to move the chains. 39 seconds left. No huddle offense here for Hernandez and the Blue Jays. Hernandez spikes it, stops the clock with 37 seconds remaining. It'll be 2nd down and 10, Blue Jays from their own 40. Well, at some point, looks like you're going to have to go deep here, and obviously Kalon Miller would be one of the guys that you'd be looking for. Corey Partenheimer as well. Austin McKellar. To the bottom of your monitor is Miller. Hernandez looking, steps up, still looking. Now he's trying to find a block and gets tackled from behind. That was huge. From behind, Pete Laughlin, because that keeps the clock running. 20 seconds now. Hernandez just had no one to throw it to. 3rd down and 8. 13 seconds to go, and deflected and batted away by Laughlin. or that may have been Cedric Fry, big number 99. So two big defensive plays, one by Pete Loughlin, one by Cedric Fry, and the Blue Jays are down to 11 seconds. Fry got credit for that block. Well, we were tied at halftime at 21. But the third quarter, in my opinion, was the difference. Ball is down on the floor. Fernandez picked up by Zach Dixon with 3 8/10 seconds to go. All the way back to the 28-yard line. Hernandez fumbled it. Zach Dixon picked it up. Blue Jays recovered, but that was fourth down. So the Redmen take over. They'll take a knee here with 3 8/10 seconds remaining. And Carthage will come away with the road victory. Boy, Carthage, pretty impressive here this afternoon. There's a lot of people talking about the two main teams, the highly ranked teams of North Central and Wheaton, but the Redmen making a case that, hey, we're pretty good in this conference as well. Kyle Freiberg is in victory formation, takes the knee, clock is going to expire, and Carthage is going to get the win. Carthage winning streak is now at 3. Their only loss coming to Wheaton in week 3. They come on the road here to Langhorst Field and knock off the Blue Jays and give Elmhurst its first loss here at Langhorst Field. 37-28 was your final score here today. A disappointing loss for the Blue Jays. They started off so well, up 14-0. But you have to give a lot of credit to Carthage. They came back, and especially in that third quarter, and they win it here this afternoon, 37-28. So again, with the victory, Carthage improves now to 5-1 overall, 3-1 in the CCIW. Meanwhile, Elmhurst now 4-3 overall, 3-2 in conference play. So that'll do it here from Langhorst Field. We thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Once again, the final score, Carthage 37 and Elmhurst 28. Thank you for logging on to BlueJay.com. Mark Kruger, so long from Elmhurst.